Studios, and welcome to Mustang Game Day. I'm your host, Nate Mills, alongside Nick Bandanza, as we get you set for day 2 of the Track and Field Big West Championships, hosted right here on the campus of Cal Poly. On today's broadcast, we will highlight first place finishes from yesterday, what athletes to watch, and we'll have Michael Hernandez live at the track getting connected with some fans as well as some throwers and some runners on the team as well. Well, part of yesterday's huge success with track and field was thanks in part by some runners from the cross-country team. On the men's side, Cal Poly swept the top 3 finishes in the 10,000 meter race, with Will Fellini-Haas finishing in first with a 30-minute and 18-second clip, with Colton Swinth in second and Aiden Dimmick in third. For Fellini-Haas, this victory was extra sweet after suffering an injury during the Big West Championships for cross country. Cal Poly's Davis Bove finished in first, but Haas did not finish. Last fall, I actually went down to Nipomo with sports reporter Dylan Allen to cover the event where the Mustangs dominated. Take a look.
The best of the Big West showed up here today in Nipomo before the sun even rose to compete in the Big West Cross Country Championship. The Cal Poly program as a whole swept the competition as both the men's and women's took first place. This makes it 2 years in a row the Mustangs have swept the Big West Championships under second-year head coaches Ryan Vanoy and Michelle Chewins. For each team, 4 of their 7 runners placed inside the top 10. On the women's side, junior Carissa Buchholz had a crucial performance as she passed 4 runners in the last half mile to finish in 8th place.
This race was very special because it's not just for myself, it's not just for a personal record, it's for a team conference title, and I love every single one of the girls on my team, and I was running for them today.
The men were led by graduate student Davis Bove, who took home his 3rd individual title of the season after transferring here from LSU.
Nobody in the NCAA is training like I am and has the background that I have, so yeah, it's just something I take with me every race. I'm like, okay, I'm doing something that these guys aren't doing.
Bove has a background in swimming and biking, as he is a 2-time national triathlon champion. This has allowed him to build endurance like nobody in the country. Coming into the championship, the women were ranked 9th in the West region, while UC Davis was ahead of them by 2 spots.
I've never fallen over at the end of a race, and today I had to collapse the ground a little bit, and I think that just tells you how hard I pushed myself. I think with all my races, I try to give it all I got till the end.
Redshirt junior Skylar Gooley was the top finisher on the women's side, as she finished in 4th place.
I'm super proud of everyone on our team, and I think the last 1,000 meters everyone stepped up, and my coach said before we started the race, this is going to be a dogfight to the finish, this isn't going to be easy, and everyone stepped up.
Just 30 minutes away from Cal Poly, the meet was packed with Mustang fans. This was a key factor for the runners, as they were being cheered on the entire race.
I was standing up on the hill over there where you kind of see everything, and you could hear people yelling from all areas of the course. So the atmosphere is definitely really cool. I think that's a big part of what we'd like here too, is that we want this to be like a running community that supports our program.
For Coach Vanoy, this is exactly what he had hoped to see in his first couple of years, and wants to keep building this program into something special.
That was coming in, we wanted that to be our standard, is hey, let's have a program that can compete to win our conference every year. That's the starting point, and then from there, trying to build the program into a national level program. So to have swept 2 years straight, we're definitely very pleased with that.
Ben and I sat down at the beginning of the year. We set out my goals. Some are pretty big, but if your goals don't scare you, then they're probably not big enough.
In 2 weeks, the Mustangs are moving on to the West Regionals in Sacramento, one of the hardest sections in all of NCAA. I'm Dylan Allen, reporting for Mustang News.
Man, how much of a stud is that Davis Bove kid? He's been an absolute asset to this cross-country program for Cal Poly ever since transferring from LSU. How big was that, do you think, for cross-country to get a championship like that back-to-back?
Back-to-back, I think it's huge. I think we're really going to see a show out today in the standings. You generate a winning culture, a winning atmosphere amongst, all those athletes that run cross-country. They also run track. So when you're year-round, your goal is to win a Big West title. That doesn't change when the event changes, like the 1500 or the 800. That type of mentality and those type of training sessions kind of permeate through the winter and then into the spring, ready for this Big West title.
Would you say the cross-country program acts as like a second coach coach to this track team, maybe heading into this season?
I wouldn't say second coach, but I'll definitely say they work together. They're hand in hand. They work as one. So when it is cross-country season, the training is the only thing that changes. Everything else is pretty much the same. But then when they transition back over to track and field, again, it's only what the training is different. The culture, the team, even the coaching staff is pretty much all the same.
All right, well, that was a look at our cross-country season for the Big West Championships. We're going to head into a quick break, but when we come back, Nick Bandanza will get you up to speed with what went down yesterday, and we'll hear from Michael Hernandez on the track. Stay with us on Mustang Game Day.
Margot Sinclair is a band of Cal Poly students who have been playing together for the past 2 years. I spoke to lead singer Kyle Mix about how the group got started.
It was kind of just on a whim. We just like, oh, we have a couple guitarists, we have someone like I can sing, we have someone that can play a bass, and we have someone that can play drums. Like, let's just get in a garage. And we wrote one song the first time we ever played together, and it was like, wow, we could actually, play for our friends. And then it's become what it has been today.
Last month, Margot Sinclair won the Battle of the Bands competition, hosted by Shebang, a local music festival. This was a competition of small, local bands at the Fremont Theater, where the winner gets to play at Shebang the first weekend of May.
Battle of Bands is probably the biggest marketing thing that's happened to us so far. Last year we applied for Battle of Bands and we didn't get in. So to reapply and get in and then win is pretty epic, or at least we're proud of it.
The group has spent the past few weeks preparing and perfecting their set lists for the upcoming event.
I'm nervous, but in a good way, excited. I don't think it's going to be a nervous that would affect us. When we make mistakes at a bar show, most people don't really notice, but here we really want to make sure that just like our set Battle of Bands that was only 15 minutes, but perfect, we want to make sure that our hour-long set Shebang's perfect.
With over 10,000 people attending Shebang last year, the festival is expecting about 12,000 in 2024.
Going off of Battle of the Bands, that felt unreal, and the amount of kind of following that we gained from that, it all kind of compounded, and that was a huge moment. But either way, we're just excited to play for all of our friends in San Luis Obispo and a lot of new people that have hopefully never seen us before.
Welcome back to Mustang Game Day. Yesterday, the Big West Track and Field Championship began on Friday, where 3 Mustangs captured individual titles. The 3 athletes who finished first on the podium are Lexi Evans, Melody Nwangu, and Will Fellini Haas. Evans cleared 13 feet and 10 inches in the pole vault, which is good for number 2 on Cal Poly's all-time list. Evan was a full foot ahead of any of the competition. This is her 2nd year in a row with the win.
More on the track and field success that we've had, but I believe we have Michael Hernandez standing by down at the track, and we're gonna take a look at him. He's standing by with one of the top throwers on the team. He's a transfer student, and he is now here at Cal Poly making his mark as he already has a school record in hammer throw. Michael, can you talk to us more about that, buddy?
Yes, we are out here over in the Big West Championships for track and field with my man, Travis Martin. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing not too bad, but you got a pretty big task ahead of you. I know you've been having a pretty good, successful couple of weeks, but how is it to come out here, home stage, first ever time that you've been over here and throwing in the championships at home for Cal Poly Big West? How's it feeling?
I'm excited. It's going to be a fun time. There's a lot of good comp here. I just want to go have fun and hopefully score some points.
Yes, you were pretty successful at scoring points about a week ago or so over there in Fresno, California. For their meet, you were able to break a couple of school records. What does it mean for you coming in as a transfer student to be able to make some marks over here for Cal Poly Track and Field?
I definitely feel like I got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder coming from JUCO, but I mean, it's a level playing field. There's a lot of good athletes, and I'm here to compete, so.
You were able to make that championship level over there at the junior college level. Do you think that experience will transfer over well over here now that you're reaching possibly that NCAA level if you have a great performance here today?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like I have some experience in like high stakes environments, but this is definitely the biggest stage I've been on so far, so it's pretty exciting. Gonna go have fun.
Yeah, has there been any experience like this for you that you would be able to compare it to? I know that junior college championship level, but I mean the Big West championship level, there's tons of eyes out here today. It's got to be a pretty special experience for you, am I right? Yeah,
it's definitely a bigger stage. There's a guy out here that throws about 77 meters, so I got my eye on him, but that was not there in JUCO, so it's definitely a different stage.
Can you walk us through how it is to, as a track athlete, preparing for a day like this, the preparation that goes into it, especially an event that runs a couple of days, and it's not just one day where you're having to go out and give your best performance, you're having to come out multiple days and give it your all.
Yeah, I mean, I do this 5 days a week, so to me it's just another day, but they actually measure my throws today. So it's really just a test, see what I can do and go out and perform.
Any final goals that you want to end off today with?
If I win the meet, my coach is gonna cannonball in the steeplechase. So I'm hoping to win. That'd be a cool thing to watch.
We got Travis Martin over here hoping for a cannonball over at the Cal Poly pool. We're sending it back over there to the Swanson Studios. Nathan, Nick, what you guys got for me over there?
Thank you. Well, I'm really hoping to see a cannonball.
Absolutely.
I think that's the biggest one.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And coming in after the break, we're going to have another package and a look ahead onto what the key factors are for the upcoming title races.
Cal Poly Career Services offers a variety of resources to help students navigate their internship or full-time job search. From career exploration to learning from on-campus interviews, Amy Hammond and the rest of her staff help students find the right career path.
We have one main career fair each quarter, which is a 2-day fair in the rec center. So that would be our fall, our winter, and our spring career fair. And we also do a lot of events with employers where you've probably seen our big career fairs. We bring employers to campus and students can talk with them about internships, co-ops, and full-time jobs. About a third of the representatives that come to recruit at those fairs are Cal Poly alumni. They love to come back to campus. It's great for the students because they're talking with recruiters and hiring managers who know what their classes are and maybe even had some of the same professors and kind of understand the curriculum.
2 Cal Poly engineering students talked about their internship search and how they navigated the process of finding a job.
I just recently actually got an internship for, it's a company that makes electric boats, and it's called Navier. It's most important, at least for my major, to kind of join clubs because you meet people and you can connect with people who can help you with that job search and like talk to you a lot about how they were able to get their internships. And then through that kind of find connections and everything. It is like, in the beginning at least, all about kind of who you know.
About January, I got an internship with a company called Clark Construction out of DC. They have locations everywhere, but I'm from DC, so it just made sense to go back and do an internship there. As far as the school goes, I guess there definitely a lot of resources I don't tap into necessarily, but any career fair you can find is obviously a great opportunity to put yourself out there and meet a lot of cool people.
I think some students feel like, oh, I need to know my plan. I need to know where I'm going to go to career services. And I really want to dispel that and have students know this is where you can come if you don't know, because our role is to help you figure that out.
Reporting for Mustang News, my name is Jack Hildebrand.
For the past 5 weeks, 35 Cal Poly students have been working to produce the theater department's spring production, Mr. Burns, a post-electric play. This is a 3-act play that takes place after an apocalypse. The survivors piece together the TV show The Simpsons for live entertainment. The play then follows how the story of The Simpsons changes from being retold through generations in this post-apocalyptic world.
It's been really fun. I wouldn't say too strenuous, too, but there's just a lot of moving parts. I think this is the most moving parts I've ever worked with. And I think the cast just does a great job holding it together and really relying on each other.
Second year, Leanne Gunu plays the role of Jenny. This is her first main stage production at Cal Poly. Assistant Technical Director Albert Lee is in charge of managing the shop tech class of students who build the sets. Lee says that he himself has spent around 10 hours every week of the quarter working on the set for the show.
All these small pieces are being put together, and then when they're all together, it's a grand production. It's a great set by itself. It looks like a very basic set. We had to do many 30, 40 platforms. But when you put it all together into bleacher sections, then that's huge.
Leanne hopes the play leaves the audience reflecting on their own lives.
What memories would come to their minds? Because this play has honestly got me thinking about that all the time. If an apocalypse happened and I need to find something like my comfort show, something to remember to hold on to, what would I hold on to? And I feel like I would love the audience to think about that and really see like what do they remember. It's a great way to test your memory and test what's near and dear to your heart.
For Mustang News, I'm Avery Smiggle.
Hello and welcome back to Mustang Game Day. Let's check in with how the track is stacking up in the Big West. Cal Poly has a chance to gain and lead in the women's side of the championships. Currently tied for second in team points with 46. They're tied with UC Irvine and are just 2.5 points behind the first place Long Beach State. The women are competing with a chance to jump into first over beach with some events to watch, being the 4x100, 4x200, 200, and 400 meter dashes.
The men's team is looking to continue to build on their slim lead, just 5 points ahead of Cal State Fullerton, with some crucial events being the hammer throw, shot put, 1500, and the 800. Well, speaking of the hammer throw, a big part of what made this team so good this season has been the throwing squad. Mustang News sports reporter Anthony Mollison tells us more about that in another interview with Travis Martin.
Anthony Mollison here reporting for Mustang News. We're here in the Atascadero for the 8th annual Tamale Festival. Clearly rain isn't stopping anybody. Let's take a look at what's been going on today.
I'm here to eat some tamales, dude.
The event included a combination of local vendors and others who traveled from all across California. Martinez Restaurant, with 2 locations in Paso Robles and Atascadero, attended the festival for the first time and was excited to bring their tamales.
We wanted to show our culture on the tamales because everybody has a different culture on how to make tamales and everything. So yeah, we put vegetables in our tamales. We got beef ones with carrots, potatoes, jalapenos, zucchini. Those are probably like one of our like main ones to always make. Yeah.
The event held a competition for the best tamales as well as a tamale eating contest. I was able to get an exclusive interview with the tamale eating champion.
I won the 8th annual Tamale Festival first place adult tamale eating contest. Come and defend my title next year.
The event also held live music, other vendors, and games. Despite the rain, many of the locals in attendance weren't going to let that get in the way of their love for tamales.
If they made this a week thing, I'd probably be here every day. I've just been enjoying a good time and exploring and becoming familiar with some of the vendors. You know, a lot of these places have different tastes. Not every tamale is the same.
For Mustang News, I'm Anthony Mollison. Travis Martin and Corbin Payne have both had remarkable seasons for the Cal Poly track and field throws team. For the both of them, their path to get to the Division I level has not been easy. They are both JUCO products, just like their throws coach, Les Cordemanchi.
I'm always going to have a high interest for those athletes coming out of the California JUCOs, junior colleges, just because, I mean, I was a product coming out of high school, and it's a different type of grind, I think, at a junior college.
Honestly, it's just been a better experience. There's a lot more resources, and, you know, just having the support of the team has really been a big thing for me. The culture here is completely different than it was at Cuesta. They were really invested in you, but, like, here you have a lot of like-minded athletes around you that really have that same goal to push you and to do better, and you know, it's just an overall better experience for everybody, I feel like.
While Martin was at De Anza College, he found himself atop of the state JUCO rank. While he still finds himself high up on the Division I hammer throw leaderboard, he has had to work his way up.
At JUCO, it was kind of boring, at the risk of sounding cocky, but there wasn't a whole lot of people that were like beating me. For the California state rankings, I was first by 8 meters, and now I'm like not even top 25 here. So it's very different, but in like a good way.
With both of the throwers qualifying for the first round of NCAAs, there's work left to be done. For Payne, he is eyeing a new PR in shot put.
Well, obviously my PR is at 59, and it's like, really want that 60-foot throw, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully we get that big one out there at conference.
For Mustang News, I'm Anthony Mollison.
Yeah, Anthony Molson has been very active this week with those packages. Had that tamale one and then had that thrower package. Good stuff by him. I think that's what has made a lot of the athletics at Cal Poly so successful, especially in the spring season this year, has been those JUCO guys. We're seeing it not just in track and field, but baseball, softball, everywhere. What can you say about those JUCO athletes coming in at a Division I level? They might have something to prove.
They have something to prove, and I also think they are more prepared than high school athletes. They're ready to win now. I mean, obviously they're 2 years older than an 18-year-old coming out of high school, but not just that, especially at De Anza, which is such a high-level program, which a lot of these JUCO products are coming from. They're used to competing on a very high stage against very tough competition. And so having that experience, it doesn't eliminates that little area in which you're getting used to, because it's nothing to get used to. You've been competing at a high level.
Yeah, but for Martin, he's been saying that, you know, he was just dominating the field during his time at JUCO. So, you know, it's been a nice adjustment coming in here. He's saying he's like actually losing to people. Yeah. That's a crazy sentiment to say for a college athlete, because college athletics are hard. And I have just a little fun fact about Corbin Payne. That guy's huge, right?
Huge.
You would not expect him to have a tiny little kitten named Goose. That thing runs around his house everywhere. He can hold it in one hand. It's a spectacle to see for Corbin Payne. We're actually going to go back down to Michael Hernandez, who's still on the track. Michael, what do you got for us this time, bud?
Hello, Mustang fans. We are back over here. Live shot, Patriots there. Cal Poly track and field fan, hopeful, looking possibly for a little bit of a close family member to you to be having a big performance today, right?
Yeah, my daughter Jaden Snare, she's going to be running in a 4x1 today, and I also have some former athletes that I coached in high school or in junior college that are here as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing them compete as well.
Can you take us through both mindsets, kind of as a coach and as a father, how it is to be watching? Because I'm pretty sure I've already seen you pacing a little bit back and forth. You got to be a little game time, a little nervous, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard. It's the Big West Championship, so of course you want to see them do well and everything. So kind of the mindset for me is just to kind of just be calm and just watch and be a fan for the most part.
Yeah, is that a little bit harder though as a dad? You can't lie. I mean, seeing your daughter out there and then obviously competing at such a big stage has been something you've been training for quite a while, I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely, and it's hard, you know, as being a coach to say, you know, I got to step back from that coaching mode and just be a dad, you know. So it's like I don't want to be yelling out like advice to her or anything like that, because that's her coach's job. So my job now is just to like sit and watch and try to just be calm and everything.
Yeah, what has been something that you have implemented to try and stay calm out here? Has there maybe been a certain superstition? You know, I seen you were drinking that Starbucks out there. Does that kind of help zen you out? What exactly is helping gain Demetrius Snare right for that Cal Poly track and field game day?
Just being a fan. Like, I love track and field. Like, I love it. Like, no matter when, I'll go to a high school meet, a junior high meet or whatever to watch track and field. So I think really my thing is just like being a fan and just being able to watch it and just say, you know what, this is going to be cool no matter what happens with her. I mean, I hope they win and do well and everything, but for the most part, I'm just here as a fan of track and field and Cal Poly track and field for the most part as well.
Well, I believe that all Mustang fans at home watching are going to love that you are here supporting not only your daughter, but also a couple of other former athletes as well. We're going to be sending it back to Nick and Nate in the studio. Alrighty, thank you.
Thanks so much, Michael. That's some good stuff right there. I don't know about you, Nick, though. If I was trying to zen out, I would not be having Starbucks.
No, that's too much sugar. That's too much sugar.
The refresher, if anything.
Of course.
We're going to head into a quick break, but when we come out of it, we're going to give you some 3 athletes to watch for in today's event. Stay with us on Mustang Game Day.
On Saturday, the Central Coast Women's League gathered together to host a jewelry sale in downtown San Luis Obispo. Hundreds of vintage pieces previously owned by members of the league and the community were displayed for people to browse and buy. Connie Cutler, a member of the Women's League, says that she loves that the sale brings together women from multiple generations.
The fun thing is watching the young students that came this morning. That's my favorite part, is they come and they'll pick something up and go, oh, this reminds me of my grandma, one girl said. Another one said, oh, I'm going to Shebang today and I'm going to wear this because I needed something really gaudy. And so I loved that. It's fun to watch cross generations look at jewelry, because if there's one thing women like, it's jewelry.
Members of the Women's League say that the most important part about the sale is that all of its proceeds go to local charities. Their profits will go to Family Care Network, helping foster families, Restorative Partners, which supports people newly released from prison, and Lumina Alliance, whose goal is to care for victims of domestic violence.
I feel like a lot of sales like this It's like, oh, I'm short on money, I need something, but to like donate all of this to charity, that's so awesome.
Cutler believes that the source of that donation is what really matters.
It didn't come from a big corporation. It came from a bunch of little people working really hard in the backyard to make some money and to find a cause.
For Mustang News, I'm Grace Bennett.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Mustang Game Day. Here at Swanson Studios, we're getting you caught up on the Big West Track and Field Championships. We're about to wrap things up here, but before we do, I want to get you guys caught up with what's at stake here with these championships. So at the championships, they're not just competing to win the meet itself, but they're also trying to earn a spot in the NCAA West preliminaries. To do so, an athlete must earn a top 48 individual mark or a top 24 relay time within the West region. 8 Mustangs made the preliminaries last season, 4 of which in junior Spencer Pickren, sophomore Rory Davini, sophomore Lexi Evans, and senior Anthony Guerra returned this season aiming to reach that goal again. So Davini reached the 2023 preliminaries in the men's hammer throw, and after a strong regular season, he holds the 3rd ranked mark in the conference in the event, along with the 2nd ranked mark in the men's discus over the season. Pickren reached them in the men's 1500. He recently competed at the Oxy Invitational in Los Angeles, while at the multi-event the championships were going on, and recorded a top 10 mark in program history in the event. Evans, reaching the 2023 preliminaries in the women's pole vault, currently holds the top mark in the conference in the event and is a contender to win the title. And lastly, Guerra reached the preliminaries in the men's 3,000 meter steeplechase. He currently holds the top conference mark in the men's 10,000 with a time of 29, 29, and 26. So those are some things that are at stake for the championships today. Not just going for that gold in the Big West, but also NCAA preliminaries. They've obviously done so in the past. Those people are returning, and I know you have some more athletes to watch today as well.
Yeah, so 3 more athletes you really have to keep an eye on later today that are looking for Big West champions. First is Paso Robles local Corbin Payne in the men's hammer throw. Payne finished 4th last year, and this year has improved on his personal best mark twice over. On the women's side, Shelby Daniel is looking to win the sprinters double, winning both the 100 and 200 meter races. The 5-time All Big West honoree finished 2nd in last year's 200 meter and is running her fastest 100 meters times in her credible career. Daniel will also anchor the women's 4x1 meter relay, which is favored to win here at the Big West Championships. And finally, in Aiden McCarthy's absence, Carson Smith is looking to take the crown and win both the men's 800 and 1500 meter races. Smith finished within the top 3 in both the prelim races yesterday, running his best times all year and has been since the winter.
Yeah, they're definitely going to miss they're going to miss some talent there with McCarthy.
Yeah.
Well, how do you think Smith is going to fill that role for the Mustangs today?
I think amazing. He's a junior. He's been around. He's seen Aiden McCarthy. Aiden McCarthy last year made it all the way up and finished 7th in the nation in the men's 800. I know he's been dealing with an injury the last couple months and is unable to compete this season. So I think Smith is ready for this. He's kind of known now for about a month and a half that it's his time, that it's going to be his races to go out and win, and he's really in there trying to do it.
That's going to wrap us here from Swanson Studios for Mustang Game Day, getting you guys ready for the Big West Track and Field Championships. A lot of good stuff ahead for the athletes out here. They're shaping out pretty well. The men's in 1st place and the women's in 2nd place, I believe, already after yesterday's events. So stay tuned to that. So thank you for tuning in for today's episode, and we'll see you guys later.
Thank you.